Hi, this is the Gentleman's Workshop, and this is my modern Minuteman rig and setup. Kind of the philosophy behind this is to have all my stuff compiled in one spot so I can get ready and go as quick as possible. It kind of occurred to me one day as I started doing EDC, having an EDC system every day, that I was taking longer to get out of the house, because as I'd go through the mental checklist as I went out the door, I would realize I didn't have something like a flashlight or an extra magazine or whatever. So I would be taking an extra couple minutes every day to get out of the house, which I adapted to by getting up earlier so I can get to work on time. But it made me start thinking about all these preparedness things I'd been planning. It was kind of scattered all throughout the house. Some in the closet are just all over. So taking an older idea, kind of a traditional idea, from the Minuteman, I compiled this kit. And I also, surprisingly, didn't have a way to carry all of my, as little as it was, to carry all of my gear. So I compiled it. Now, this is a pretty inexpensive rig, mostly surplus. You have the Mosin Nagant, you have the German surplus flak jacket, and the U.S. World War II tin can. So it's been pretty inexpensive to do. I picked up the Mosin for a good price. It's a Chinese Type 53, so it's the short carbine length, which I liked. Made it a little bit better for my neck of the woods. There's a lot of oak growth, and it's real kind of close. So it's from my hunting days. I'm always banging the longer barrels, and they're just harder to get around in the woods. So I liked the shorter length for that, and for the overall weight. I just put a cheap scope on top of it. Now, one of the main modifications that I liked, I saw some people do for their Moisins, was to modify the magazine spring to be able to be fed one at a time. If you can see in there, I just put this small bend up into the chamber, so you can just throw one round in at a time, and it'll slide in very reliably, which is quicker than even throwing a stripper clip in and loading up all the way. So with this rig, I have able to hold the 5 rounds in the internal magazine, and then I have 5 additional in this side saddle I made. This is actually I believe it's a British boot cover that I added additional bullet loops to that I made, and it works really well. It gives me a little bit of a nice cheek rest. I think it makes the thing just look kind of Mad Max style too, which I think is just kind of groovy, Let's see what else I have. I also have 25 rounds and stripper clips in this little bandolier teal. It's just got buttons and pockets, so just pull it out as I want, if I want to load up to full capacity. But also in these pouches that I believe were designed for the stripper clips, but I just have the surplus ammo loose in there, and it works pretty well, especially for the 1 round feeding, because you just have this on your belt, and you're able to grab it really quick and throw it in there. These hold about, each pouch holds about 25 rounds. So I have about 100 rounds plus the 25 plus the 10 that are on the rifle itself, which I feel like is probably more than I would actually need for most of the realistic situations that would happen. Gloves, of course, these are some Uncle Mike's, leather. And I'm doing a 22 as my sidearm, mostly because I'm not too worried about really using my sidearm for anything really too pressing, but still having something that's lightweight and probably mostly used for small game. And then I also had the 2 extra magazines that I'd probably run in my day pack or probably just in my jean pocket. This is just a dump pouch. It's Chinese made. I believe they made it for their light machine gun drums, but it works pretty well. I think I got that really cheap, like $10 or so. As for my day pack, you know, I just have the odds and ends that I have. I have a first aid kit, fire stuff, pretty standard day kit, fare, hydration pack, just all of that. So nothing too elaborate, but I have some offensive capability and some light defensive capability. Now, a lot of people kind of may be kind of giggling that I have such old surplus Kevlar flak jacket, but I've seen some kids mess around with these, and they'll stop up to a 357 mag, and I feel like that's that's a lot of comfort for me on my end, just knowing that really if it is a pretty big war zone, that there would be shrapnel flying around, which this was originally made for, and you know, knowing that most of the guns that I could be encountering are pistol calibers, it's a pretty safe bet. Now, also, there's been a pretty big debate I've seen on helmets, even the more modern ones that are level 3A. You know, even those, a lot of the veterans that come back and they say they hated them and they're really, really hot, and so when they're running around themselves now, they don't use a helmet. But just from my research and from my point of view, especially, you know, going paintballing and stuff like that, I'm always getting hit in the head. Your head's so exposed and vulnerable, even in just everyday life. You know, we wear a helmet when we're riding a bike for a reason. We wear a helmet when we're playing sports for a reason. Because our head's so vulnerable. It's really our most vulnerable spot and the easiest way to take a human out of commission. So even though it's just, you know, a surplus tin can, I think it's important, and I incorporate it into my system. Now the real question is, how fast could you deploy this and get out the door? You know, if your building was on fire, or if you know, some other extreme situation happened. So I think I'll test that out and time myself to see how quick I could really actually get this all on and get out the door. Because really, you know, if I had an intruder into my home, I really don't think a feasible way to put on my flak jacket, a helmet, and grab my rifle and extra ammunition. And so really, that's not what its intended use is for. It's really just to have the peace of mind that if something big and extreme did happen, I wouldn't be slowed down an hour or a half an hour just getting all this in the same place and ready to go.